Man, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, man, Jay Willie Silly, man, aka Mr. Take It Easy for you end up like busy. But make sure y'all follow my Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Everything you know about your boy Jay is in the description down below. We finna hit 10,000 followers on Twitch. I really appreciate y'all's support. You know what I mean? Subscribe to the second channel. You know what I mean? 2,000 subscribers is on the way. But we got 3 terrifying true horror stories for all my new subscribers and new viewers. If y'all do want to go check out all of my scare reactions, it is in the playlist section over yonder. Now, I'm going to tell y'all about a little situation that just happened to me about an hour ago. So I peeped this man. You know, and like I said, one thing I'll say that I know that God has blessed me with, you know, I know God has blessed me with many of things, right? But one thing I'm gonna say that God blessed me with, bro, and I think this is the number one thing he like when he was creating me, I think this was like the number one thing, like, okay, he's gonna have this first. Was the spirit of discernment, bro. It's like, y'all, I'm telling y'all, bro, it's like I can see through people. It's like, it's numerous of times, y'all, where I knew that something was wrong with somebody and something ended up being wrong with somebody. I don't know what it is. It's like, I know when somebody is weird. I know when somebody is strange. I know when something's up with a mother. It's like God shows me a person's true self. Because like I said, y'all, the outside appearance is not a person's true self. The inside is. So it's like, bro, it's like God just showed me who a person truly is. And it's like, I really can see who you truly are. So I'm at Publix, bro. I'm in the bread aisle. Now, I don't know what it was about this cat. One thing you got to understand about wicked people and weird people and people of that sort, they think they look so normal, but their body language be off. That's what you got to understand about y'all weird people and y'all like wicked people and y'all people that's up to no good. Y'all think y'all look so normal, but bro, you be looking off. You can't even help yourself. I'm talking about y'all, they think they be looking so normal. Bro, body language was so loud. Whole time, I'm peeping him. He don't even know. He's just staring at me, cuz. I'm staring at him. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the bread aisle staring at him. I ain't got a problem with you staring at me. Like I said, you got to expand your mind, bro. Bro probably like, you know what I'm saying, what I had on. Bro probably think I look familiar. You know what I mean? Never know what's running through the man's mind. But I don't think that was the case. But I ain't saying nothing. But I just want to let you know, like when I be outside, I'm always looking. So I want to let you know I'm aware. I see you staring, bro. I ain't just like these other people, you know what I'm saying, in here that ain't watching. No, I'm on that tenfold. You know what I mean? So I'm in the bread aisle. So, okay. I keep him in the back of my head. People like that, I never forget. You know what I'm saying? I felt a little strange about you. I feel a little strange about you. I ain't never going to forget you. I really don't never forget anybody. One thing about me, I never forget a face. So I check out, got finished grocery shopping. I walk out the car. Guess who walk out? Him too. Whole time watching you. Every time walking in my car, looking back. And he looking at me. I'm looking at him. Looking at me. I'm looking at him. I'm telling you, I'm showing you that I'm looking at you. I'm showing you. I'm looking at you. And like I said, he got my charger and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking. So what I did, I got in my car and I just stopped and just looked at him in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Bro did like this. He looked at me again. I'm showing you, bro, that I will kill you. That's the thing I'm showing. I just stopped everything, y'all. Looked down in that dark just like this. It was in the dark. Looked at him like, you know, how that girl was looking at obsession. I was looking at him just like that in the dark. Did not keep my eye. Because now I know something wrong with you, bro, because you keep looking at me. It's not like I'm looking at you and staring you down like, what's up? You got a problem? Nah, gang. I'm looking. I'm minding my business. I'm just looking, checking my surroundings like I do. But you own me, bro. You just looking at me, cuz. So I just stare at him until he get in the car. And one thing I do, I pull out my gun. I wanted to let you know if you're looking at me in the rearview mirror, just because you're in your car, you think you're not looking at me, bro. Bro, I'm so smart, but it don't make no dang sense. You think I'm finna just stop doing what I'm doing, thinking I don't know you looking in that rearview mirror? I lit out my thing. I show you I got a gun on me. I'm showing you I'm armed. I ain't started putting my groceries in the freaking car until he scurried off the lot. And guess what? He started scurrying off the lot to my side. Guess what I did? I got that buggy. Right when he started scurrying off the lot. I started putting the groceries in. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? Before he started scurrying off the lot, you know what I'm saying? I ain't had too many groceries, so I popped that trunk, put all the groceries in it. He started scurrying off the lot to my side. I got that buggy, bro, and went away from him. Bro, let down the window. Bro, I'm not finna come to you. If anything, you gonna come to me, bro, I'm gonna outsmart you, bro. I'm gonna kill you by my brain. You know what I mean? So bro try to come. I don't know who the freak this motherfucker is. I know I can die. See, that's the thing. That's what make me so dangerous, is I know I can die. So the thing, see, my objective is to outsmart you, not out tough you, bro. So I see you scurrying off the lot, I go this way. Just so I can be in clear view of my car. Bro let down his window. I ain't worried about none of that. I ain't finna come up to your car. And then bro starts scurrying off the lot real slow. Put the buggy in, looked at him. You know what I'm saying? He was scurrying off the lot. Some said go. Got in the car, went behind the stove, disappeared just like that. That's why I say, y'all, all I'm saying is you gotta be on 10. Because somebody always watching. You know why? That's how I know somebody always watching. You know why? Because I'm always watching. Thumbnail time. So y'all imagine if I wasn't attentive like I was. Motherfucker probably would have robbed me up. Who else? Me being alert, me being attentive, saved me, bro. Possibly.
Fall of 2025, while I was on a sales trip through a small town in Missouri. I had spent the entire day driving throughout the northwest region of the state, visiting more than 60 sales leads. By the time I returned to my hotel that evening, I was mentally exhausted. Even so, I still had work to finish, so I spent several hours on my laptop scheduling emails to send the following morning. The hotel was a normal mid-tier place. It wasn't a chain, but it also wasn't a budget motel. It had a Western log cabin aesthetic and felt surprisingly cozy. From the moment I checked in until the following morning, I never saw another guest on my floor. That detail becomes important later. I was staying on the 3rd floor, which was also the top floor. Around 11:30 p.m., I was sitting at the desk typing away when I heard activity in the hallway. There were footsteps, a door opening, and a few urgent voices. I didn't think much of it. Hotels are noisy places, and guests come and go at all hours. About 15 minutes later, I decided to go downstairs to buy a bottle of water from the vending machine. As soon as I stepped into the hallway, I noticed a gurney positioned halfway inside a room 3 doors down. 2 EMTs stood in the doorway, while a man who appeared to be in his 60s lay on the stretcher. I couldn't see his face, only part of his arm and torso. Assuming it was a routine medical emergency, such as a fall or illness, I chose not to stare and quietly returned to my room. 10 minutes later, I stepped back into the hallway to finally get my water. This time, the gurney was completely in the hallway. One EMT was performing aggressive chest compressions while the other stared at a portable heart monitor. I heard the unmistakable continuous flatline tone. That was the moment I realized the man was either dying or had just died. The EMT monitoring the machine firmly instructed me to return to my room, so I did. When I stepped inside, the clock read 12:18 a.m. Even after witnessing what had happened, my mind remained restless, and I continued working for another half hour before finally climbing into bed around 12:50. Only a few minutes later, I heard what sounded like 3 soft knocks on my hotel room door. They weren't loud enough for me to be certain they were even knocks. I assumed it was the building settling or plumbing noises, so I ignored them. Less than a minute later, I heard the exact pattern again. 3 knocks, but louder. I got out of bed and looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty. As I stepped away from the door, preparing to return to my bed, I noticed the handle slowly depress. Not violently, just enough to suggest someone was gently testing whether the door was locked. At that moment, a feeling came over me unlike anything I'd ever experienced. I stared at the peephole, but couldn't bring myself to look through it. Instead, my attention shifted to the strip of light beneath the door. The light suddenly disappeared. It looked exactly as though someone or something was standing directly outside my room.
See, that's the thing. See, when I'm in this situation, I'm not finna try to come and look for you. I want you to come inside, bro. Whole time you're doing all that, I'm trying to find hideouts. See, this is where you're supposed to be trying to find hideouts, okay? Hide in here, hide in here. Because like I said, I'm strapped. I got knock on me. So I know when you come in here, I'm going to get the blasting on you. You feel me? So I'm just looking at I'm not even freaking out. I told y'all the biggest superpower, like I said, you can have is number 1, self-control, and number 2 is calmness. You know what I mean? I'm training myself in 2 of those right now. So I'm trying to be calm in chaotic situations because I realize if I start acting a fool, if I start being all over the place, you know what I'm saying? And that's when things start to mess up and I start doing foolish things. So what I'm doing is, okay, I can hide right there. I can hide right there because like it's locked. I'm not finna come open the door for you. You come inside here. You know what I'm saying? And best believe, if you come inside this room right here, you're not leaving, bro. You got to have that mentality walking around this world. You got to have a little wolf inside you. You got to have a little wolf because if you just straight sheep, you done. Straight sheep don't survive in this world, man. Got to have a little wolf in you, man. You know what I'm saying? Got to have that little, okay, look, if you play with me, mother effer, man down, man down, man down. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I told y'all one thing about it. I don't look for trouble. But if trouble comes my way, best believe I'm going to solve it. Best believe I only got one life. I love my life, for sure, I do. But one thing I ain't going to let you do is just take my life.
The darkness remained for several seconds. Then the light returned.
So it's like, and I'm telling you, it's wholeheartedly, bro. So it's like, if you coming to me prepared to die, like for dude today, I wasn't scared of nothing. I wasn't scared of nothing. No fear came in my blood. Because I know what I'm going to do to you. I know I'm armed. I know I'm going to kill you, bro, if you play crazy. I know. I just hopefully you prepared to kill me, too. I know bullets going to get to flying at you, bro. I ain't tripping about that. That's one thing about me. That's why I be so comfortable going outside. Because I know I'm somebody that's walking around that's going to kill you, bro. I ain't somebody just talking. I know what I got inside me, cuz. I know I'm one of them motherfuckers. If you try to play with me, I'm going to kill you. And I stay in Georgia. Self-defense. Go crazy. Give me a reason. Like I said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Immediately after, I heard a faint brushing sound against the outside of the door.
Just let me be a YouTuber.
Like someone slowly dragging their fingers or the side of an arm across it. Then everything went silent. Despite legally carrying a firearm while traveling,
here we go.
I was frozen with fear. I had never experienced such an overwhelming dread before. I turned on one of the lamps and spent the next hour sitting awake in bed watching YouTube videos, hoping to distract myself. Eventually, I heard another noise in the hallway. A door opened. It sounded like it came from the same room where the EMTs had treated the man earlier. Then I heard someone quietly muttering to themselves. The words were too faint to understand. Feeling relieved that another guest was awake, I finally opened my door. A man was stepping out of that same room. He wasn't dressed like hotel staff or an EMT. Instead, he wore dark slacks and a white button-down shirt like someone traveling for business. He appeared to be in his mid-40s. The only thing that stood out to me was his eyes. They looked unusually sunken, as though he hadn't slept in months. Curiously, I stepped into the hallway and asked if he had been with the man taken away by the emergency services earlier. The man turned to face me. After a couple seconds of silence, he nodded. He then stated that there had been 3 knocks, and that the third time was when they answered. I was confused, so I asked what he meant. A small smile crossed his face before he calmly replied that they didn't always leave immediately. Without another word, he turned and walked toward the stairwell. Needless to say, I got very little sleep that night. The following morning, around 8:30, exhausted and still trying to make sense of everything, I went downstairs to grab some coffee. I stopped at the front desk and asked the woman working there about the medical emergency that had just happened the night before. She looked genuinely confused and said she didn't know what incident I was referring to. I explained that paramedics had taken a man out of the room 3 doors down from mine and had been performing CPR in the hallway. As I continued explaining, she seemed more interested, but informed me that the room I was describing had been vacant. According to her, the last registered guest had checked out the previous day, and that guest had checked in alone. She also mentioned that the hotel occupancy had been unusually low the past few weeks, and that only a handful of guests had been staying on my floor, all of them at the opposite end of the hallway.
And don't tell me you just imagine that junk. Like I said, y'all, the mind is a very strong thing, boy. That's one thing I tell you, boy. If you ain't got this in check right here, I ain't gonna lie, you screwed, bro. I told y'all, every crime, every evil thing that somebody does comes from the mind first. So if you see this man kill somebody or kidnap somebody or a woman do this or do that, Where you think where you think that came from? Where you think that action came from? The mind. The mind. Everything that happens in this world came from the mind. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, it came from the mind first. So if you don't control, it's a lot of y'all thinking. It's a lot of y'all right now that think the most horrendous thoughts. And I don't know if I'm a can of paint, bro. I'm telling you, boy, you'd be embarrassed if we knew what come across your mind. You know what I mean? And that's why you continue to do the things that you do. You know why? Because you ain't got control over your mind. I'm talking to somebody right now. You ain't got control over your mind. That's why a lot of you hate yourself. You know why? Because you ain't got control over your mind. Them little voices that you in your head. Who you think that is, bro? Thoughts that come across your mind and you didn't even think it. Where the freak that thought came from? Who you think it came from? Them dang demons. Better start understanding you a spirit, boy. You a spirit before a human. You know what I mean? Them thoughts that you ain't try to think just coming across your head. Guess what you do? You heed on it. And you eventually become something that's false. You know what I'm saying? Mind is a very powerful thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling y'all that right now. You don't get control of your mind, man. I'm in that stage of my life too, y'all. Trying to get control of my mind. Having authority over my mind. Not letting my mind have authority over me. Because I know if my mind has authority over me, I'm screwed. It's a freaking battle.
Me to confirm that the room I was talking about.
You better look at it. You better look at it like it's a dang war. It's a battle for myself. You know what I'm saying? For real.
3 doors down from room 312. That was when everything suddenly connected in my mind.
Oh, bro, damn, man.
The incident happened 3 doors away. My room number was 312. The knocking had always come in groups of 3. And the mysterious man's first statement had been that there had been 3 knocks, and that the 3rd time was when they answered. It was one of the most unsettling moments of realization I've ever experienced. It felt as though I was standing in the middle of something that simply didn't make sense. I spent countless hours trying to explain every part of what happened. Even though the front desk employee insisted nobody matching that man's description was staying there,
gotta look at the cameras.
Started her shift that morning. Maybe she simply didn't know who had been there overnight. Maybe someone forgot to tell her about the medical emergency. Maybe hotel policy prevented her from discussing it. Maybe the strange man was simply another guest who decided to play an incredibly cruel joke on me. Maybe the knocking had just been normal building noises, or the handle never actually moved and exhaustion after a long day of driving and hours of staring at a computer screen caused me to imagine it. Maybe the hallway light briefly dimmed because of an electrical issue. I even questioned whether the entire experience had been some unusually vivid dream brought on by stress and sleep deprivation. But no matter how many explanations I come up with, none of them account for every detail. What bothers me more than anything is how everything seemed connected by the number 3. For nearly 3 weeks afterward, I wasn't myself.
Bro said for nearly 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You had 3 weeks?
Connected by the number 3. For nearly 3 weeks afterward, I wasn't myself. My mood was different, and if anyone asked what was wrong, I simply blamed work stress and a few personal things. If I really had been losing my mind, I didn't want this story to be the thing that convinced everyone else I had. Thankfully, as time passed, I was eventually able to move on for the most part, although I still don't like thinking about it for too long. I still travel frequently for work, and thankfully nothing remotely similar has ever happened again. In fact, the morning after everything occurred, once I finished speaking with the front desk employee, I packed my things and left the hotel as quickly as I could. While checking out, nothing else unusual happened, and I even noticed several completely normal guests staying at the opposite end of my floor. Even so, ever since that trip, I've developed a strange habit whenever I check into a hotel. Almost without thinking, I immediately count how many doors separate my room from the stairwell and pay attention to any room numbers or locations involving the number 3. Although the knocking that night always came in patterns of 3, it only happened twice. And that's the one thing I still find myself strangely grateful for, because if I ever hear a 3rd set of 3 knocks outside my hotel room door someday, I won't be sticking around long enough to find out what answers.
I ain't gonna lie, that's some weird ish, bro. I can't even explain that. Hopefully you did not imagine all that, but I don't put it past you. I do not put it past you.
This story mainly happened to my roommate Misty, but I was involved. All names except for mine have been changed.
I can't live in a house like I can't live close to people like this. I just can't. Like I said, living in an apartment, no, it's not for me. You know what I mean? I just like I can't, bro. Like I remember, bro, I used to live in an apartment, bro, back in Alabama, bro. Oh my God, them kids were so annoying upstairs, bro. I'm like, bro. Like being downstairs, bro, like being on a downstairs floor all you hearing is stomping, stomping, stomping. I'm like, bro, golly, bro, these kids don't never be quiet up here. I mean, you can hear everything, bro. Apartments just ain't it, but I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Literal hours.
I'm not saying those apartment townhouses or whatever, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just saying townhouses, apartments, whatever, bro. Houses is it. Houses is it.
My roommate, who I'll call Misty, had a boyfriend named Paul, whom I've met a couple times. And every time I met him, he seemed like a very chill, respectable, and actually kind of sweet guy. He would roll blunts for me and Misty because neither of us knew how, and we would talk about video games we liked.
Y'all didn't know how to roll blunts. Oh my God. I remember when I didn't know how to roll back when I was smoking, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to get my respect, man. You know what I mean? The boy Jock and the boy Daenerys thought I couldn't roll back when I was smoking. I don't know why, because, you know, and like I said, man, you know, I had to prove that I was worthy enough to be in the hot box. I always used to get Daenerys to roll my blunts. They always think, bro, you can't roll. I used to be like, man, I just want y'all to roll my blunts, man. You know what I mean? Then one day, bro, they was like, man, F that. You know what I mean? You roll your own blunt. Like, bro, heck your time out. You know what I mean? That was probably the nervous I've ever been in my life. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the most nervous I've ever been in my dang life. You feel me? Because I know that was a make or break moment. If I mess up this wood, my reputation is on the dang line. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, I was getting surgical back there in the back seat. They didn't even know it. Getting surgical. I made sure that was the most beautiful blunt I ever rolled in my dang life. Daenerys and Jock don't even know that. You know what I mean? I made sure, you know what I mean? They listen to music. You know what I mean? I'm back there getting surgical. You know, making sure that's a beautiful blunt. They ain't never questioned me. They ain't never questioned my rolling skills ever again.
However, a couple of weeks ago, they broke up. And according to her, it didn't end well. And she had to get a restraining order on him.
Oh, don't tell me it's a stalker.
Forward to 2 nights ago when I was playing SWAT 4 on my laptop, and I got the most normal sounding knock on my door. I said come in, barely looking away from the screen, when Misty slowly opens my door and says in a mumbled, quiet, and almost drunk sounding voice, Paul broke my window and threw my clothes inside. Can you help me? I could barely make out what she said, and I paused my game, got up, and came closer to hear her clearly. She seemed like she had just woken up from a deep sleep after drinking a bit, and she explained to me that her ex Paul smashed her window in and threw a bag of dirty clothes she left at his house. Mind you, she has one of those bunk beds that has a little office space underneath it instead of another bed, and it's right next to the window he smashed in. He knew exactly where she sleeps, so it was kind of scary to hear her tell me that. But I'm a bigger guy, and I know how to fight, and he's a skinny but kind of muscular man, but I wasn't afraid of him at all and just scared for her safety, so I reassured her that I would stay up and call the cops and make sure he was gone. After calling the cops, I stood out on the porch scanning the parking lot and then.
Oh, you one of those, man. You one of the ones that got friend zone, right? Man, girls and dudes, we're going to have this discussion again, man. Girls and dudes can be friends, Jay. Come on with the immature mindset. You know what I mean? It is impossible for a man and a woman to be friends, and they find each other attractive. So I guess he's not attractive. He was forced to be in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying? He was forced. You feel me? If a girl finds you attractive and y'all both find each other attractive, somebody gonna catch feelings. I'm telling you. There's no such thing. If you ever had a girl that was a friend, you just ugly probably. I ain't never had a girl that was a friend. I ain't never had a girl friend zone me. I ain't never had a girl that was a friend a day in my life. All my partners is boys, bro. I ain't never had no girl that was a friend. I had last time, what her name is, I ain't gonna say your name, you know what I mean? She tried to act like she was my friend, said she loved me. You know what I mean? If you watching, you know, I'm not gonna say your name. Say you love me. You know what I'm saying? Said you one of my kids. You know what I mean? How many times you showed me that you like me? The whole time she trying to act like I'm a friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, if a girl find you attractive, bro, she could try to act like she want to be friends and all that, but her feelings gonna show. That girl was telling me she loved me. The girl said she want to have my kids and everything. Talking about she want to be a friend. Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? But I've never been just friend zoned. If you ever friend zoned by a girl, she don't find you attractive. It's true story. And then the people that is in the friend zone, the dudes that's in the friend zone, go get mad at that. You know what I mean? That's not true, Jay. That's not true all the time. You all right? It's true, buddy. I'm telling you right now.
street, but
go ask your girl. Go ask her, do you find me attractive? You know what I mean? Do you find me? Y'all remember when it came to obsession? You know what I mean? Bro had to break a freaking. I wish you would love me. I wish you would love me more than anything in the freaking world. Bro had to break a one miracle wonder to get her to love him. You know what I'm saying? Said what her name was. She wasn't liking bro. Bro was in the friend zone.
I didn't see anyone. However,
little brother,
I couldn't shake that creepy feeling of being watched, so I told her to stay inside. About 45 minutes went by and no cops showed up, so I called the police department number to see if they were sending a car, and they said we were second on the call list and that it was a busy night for them, which tracks for the city and area I'm in. While waiting for the cops, Misty was getting texts from Paul saying things like, "Wrong move, bitch," and "I want my vape back," which he didn't have and couldn't find, so we think he was lying about that. It took another 3 hours for a cop to arrive, and it was 3 in the morning by that point, but the cop was nice and took all the info we could give him, and he said if he came back to give them a call, and that they would go to his address that they have on file because of the previous mentioned restraining order. Flash forward to yesterday, just before I left for work.
Yesterday?
I had a gut feeling he would try to come back before I got home because I had to close at my job and it would be dark out. And at about 10:48 p.m., I got a text confirming my suspicion. The next bit of the story all happened to Misty as I was at work. At about 10:30, she left her room to go take some trash out, and when she looked back, she saw a dark figure walk into her room. Paul does have dark skin, but Misty is a little crazy, she will admit. And I do mean that with endearment, but she slightly brushed it off as her seeing things. But she still went and looked around the apartment for Paul or anyone who shouldn't be there, and couldn't find anyone. So she just sat down in her room and scrolled on her phone for a bit till she decided to get up and get some cleaning supplies from her closet. But when she opened the closet door, staring right at her was Paul with a blank expression. Misty said she went white with fear, but kept her cool and talked to him like normal, and asked what he wanted. In a dead cold voice, he said, "I just want my vape back." While she frantically but calmly, as to not raise suspicion, sent me these texts, by some miracle, 45 seconds after that text exchange, my manager said I could go home early since it was slow, and I bolted out of my job, called 911, and got on the bus. I told the operator everything that was happening, and by the time I got home, the police had already got him in cuffs. By then, Misty had left to go to a friend's house to chill out after that, but she told me everything that happened.
And that's what I said. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. That's why you really, truly need to know somebody. Y'all see what they were saying about bro? Paul was sweet at first, and then a few months later, Paul turned into a psychopath. Telling you, man, take your time getting a relationship. When I'm gonna scur off the lot back to what I meant about women and men can't be friends. Yeah, we can be friends at first. You know what I mean? Because I feel like relationships built on friendship first turns out to be the best relationships. You know what I mean? But eventually, and why I feel like people should take their time with relationships, eventually, Paul, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whoever gonna show themselves, bro. Just give it time. Somebody can only fake for so long. I don't know why y'all be rushing to get in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Just because you like her and she like you, don't mean, okay, we like each other, so we just need to get in a relationship. It's so many people that's in relationships right now that don't know each other. And the thing is, you know, the crazy thing is, some of them don't even know themselves, but they trying to know each other. How you expect to know somebody else when you don't even know your dang self? You know what I mean? People just hop in relationships too fast for me. I'm going to keep it real with you. I ain't trying to hop in a relationship fast. You know what I mean? I'm cool being friends at first. But keep me in the friend zone forever? Let's be out your dang mind. You know what I'm saying? Because all I'm saying is, why would I keep you around? You know what I'm saying? Especially if I know a girl that likes me. Why would I keep you around? You know what I'm saying? And like, how does it going to look when I get a girl and I'm keeping you around? Especially if I know you like me. You feel me? So it's like friendship shit, it's going to be temporary. If you or a girl, if you or her likes each other, y'all know y'all attracted to each other, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just trying to take it slow, so y'all just in that friendship. It's going to be temporary, you know what I'm saying? But just wanting to be the best friend, you know what I mean? I want her to be my best friend, you know what I mean? You want to be her best friend. You feel me? But jumping in a relationship fast, bro, that's the worst thing to do, bro. You know what I mean? Simple as that, bro. Keep it real with you, bro.
Shook when she told me.
And like I said, you got some people that got married quick as heck, bro, and it lasted long. But just because a marriage lasts long, that don't mean they happy. People start hearing about, man, 30-something years. They got married 3 months after meeting everybody, and they been married for 30-something years. You know how many people not married that's not happy? Just because you in a marriage, that don't mean it's successful. You know what I mean? You're just in a miserable marriage. You know what I'm saying? I got to get to know my woman. You feel me? Before I get with you. Simple as that, bro. Because I date to marry. I don't date just to date. That's just me personally. That's why I always only had one girlfriend. Date to marry, not just date just to date. A lot of y'all dating just for the moment. You know what I mean? Wasting your dang time. And that's why there's a lot of baby daddies and baby mamas out here. Because you only think about now, not knowing that girl and that boy going to be a part of your life for the next 18 years. You having babies with somebody you don't even know.
When the cop asked me what happened,
I got to know you.
To her side, even his eyes widened, and even he was taken aback by the situation. He gave me another incident report and said he's definitely going to jail. I'm happy my friend's okay, and shout out to her for being so calm and thinking on her feet, and shout out to my manager for letting me get off early. I still would have called 911 from work if I had to, but it was better for my anxiety to go home as that was unfolding.
Holy crap. Holy freaking crap.
I had just moved out of home and started university when this happened. I was 18 years old at the time and living on campus in a small apartment. It was my first time living away from my family. The apartment wasn't anything special. It had a tiny kitchen, a small couch squeezed into the living room area, and a single bed pushed against the wall.
It looked pretty special to me.
Definitely wasn't luxurious, but I had made it feel like home. It was
my grateful.
First taste of independence, and I loved having my own space. One night, after a couple months of living there, I was sitting on the couch watching TV when my phone buzzed on the coffee table in front of me. I looked down and saw that somebody had added me on Instagram. The username wasn't familiar to me, but that wasn't unusual. My account was public, and random people would occasionally add me, so I ignored it and went back to watching TV.
One thing that used to bro, I'm not gonna lie, one thing that used to give me a ick, bro, when I was on Instagram, because like I said, for all my new subscribers and new viewers, I don't have Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or Facebook. I don't have no social media other than YouTube and Twitch, because those are my jobs. But when I was on Instagram, the thing that used to piss me off the most, I stopped following people first a long time ago. You know what I mean? If y'all was paying attention to my Instagram, bro, when I had one, follow 0 people. You know what I'm saying? Stop following people first, because I feel like it just, for me, people get a big head fast, especially women, bro. You know what I'm saying? I never follow dudes. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Give a F about you. I never follow dudes first at all. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And I only follow dudes back, you know what I'm saying, if I knew you. If I ain't know you, bro, I ain't following you back to it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to women, you know what I'm saying? Women I tend to follow first, sometimes. But it's just something about, you know what I'm saying, women get the big head. I don't know. They used to give me an ick, bro. Especially when it comes to a woman you know. The thing is, it's not me just following. I never used to follow women I didn't know first. I used to follow women I actually knew. You know what I'm saying? Like this one girl. She followed me in my old page. You know what I'm saying? Can't follow me back now. I'm not gonna lie to you. That tell me that you really don't F with me, though. I ain't gonna lie. I know it was social media, bro. You know what I'm saying? But if you really know a person, bro, you know what I mean? Like, this is just on social media, though. Like, if you really know a person, bro, and you already know this girl right here, you social media out. You posting stories and everything. You doing all that. And I followed you, gang, and you don't follow me back. Oh, you don't F with me no more. It's real, though, right? You know what I mean? Because for me, if I really F with you, why would I not follow you back, gang? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I do it? So it was like for me, and the thing is, it turned out to be true. You know what I mean? She used to stay in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I pulled up, bro, was just saying what's up. Bro, I was like, what going on, shawty? Shawty's acting weird. I'm like, freaking weirdo, skirt off the line. I was just trying to make conversation. I'm like, I actually know shawty. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what going on, shawty? You been good? I was just acting weird. I know. I'm like, shawty, I guess, you know what I mean? Cause I ain't gonna lie, I was unfollowing and following and unfollowing and unfollowing. I'm like, hey, shawty, like, you good, gang? Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop following that mother. You know what I'm saying? After that day, I stopped following anybody first. I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers get a big head now. You know what I'm like, oh, for real? Gonna do me like that? Shawty, I know you. Pulled up to Shawty, started acting different. I'm like, oh, she one of them hoes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I skirt off the lot on her so fast, I ain't see that motherfucker ever since. Like you acting weird to me, for motherfucker. I ain't do nothing to you. The freak wrong with you, goofy? There's some women, bro, we get a big head, bro. They like them Instagram. Oh, I had to delete that social media junk. I can't do no social media, girl, but I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. You a person that be posting. The biggest ick I get, bro, is when a girl posts on what she eating on something. Like, bro, a girl, you always on your phone when you with me. I ain't gonna lie, I'll break up with you for that. I'm gonna keep it G with you, bro. I can't stand a girl that always on her phone and always, you just social media out. I want a low-key girl, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want my girl not having no social media, just different, you feel me? You an internet girl, bro, I don't want that job. I was in a, bro, I don't even want to go through it. I don't even want to, you know what I'm saying? Straight up.
A minute later, my phone buzzed again. The account had requested to message me. I opened it and saw a simple greeting. I don't know who this person was, but I've never really been the type to ignore somebody trying to start a conversation, so I responded with a greeting of my own. At first, the conversation seemed completely normal. He asked how I was, what I was doing, and we exchanged the usual small talk.
Freak, bro. Yeah, you know somebody Looney Tunes if you triple texting. Boy, you sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boy, you sent 8 text messages back to back. Mother, if I'm only text you one time. You know what I mean? And it's rare I DM you. You know what I'm saying? If I text you first, oh, you only get one response. You know what I'm saying? You text me back and then I feel like you want a conversation. I feel like you want a conversation with a brother. You know what I'm saying? And okay, we can get it checked. But I never in my life ever sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 messages one time.
After a few minutes, though, the questions started getting strange.
The freak?
He wanted to know whether I was single, what my dream man looked like, and eventually what I was wearing. I remember sighing in disbelief. For context, I'm a gay guy, and that was openly mentioned in my Instagram bio. Because of that, random men occasionally messaged me asking weird or sexual questions. It wasn't exactly uncommon, so while the conversation was making me uncomfortable, it wasn't really setting alarm bells off yet. Then he sent me a photo of himself and asked whether I found him attractive.
I probably gotta skip this story. I know how I feel about Duke Buster.
I opened the image, and the guy looked to be in his late 20s or early 30s. He was heavily built with pale skin, messy brown hair, bright blue eyes, and patchy facial hair around his chin and upper lip. What stood out to me wasn't what he looked like, it was his expression. He wasn't smiling or posing, he was simply staring directly into the camera. I chose not to respond to the photo, and instead closed the conversation. Almost immediately, another message came through. This time, he repeatedly asked if I wanted to play Truth or Dare. I declined once, then declined again, but he continued pushing for me to agree. Around this time, my best mate Connor came over to my apartment. I showed him the messages and told him about the weird guy who wouldn't stop asking me to play. Being two dumb 18-year-olds, curiosity got the better of us. Connor laughed and suggested we just play anyway. Looking back, I regret it now, but at the time I was curious and already planning on blocking the guy afterward. I figured we might as well have one moment of entertainment before ending the conversation, so I agreed to play. I asked the first question. Honestly, I don't even remember what it was. It was probably something stupid. He answered before taking his turn. He asked whether I wanted Truth or Dare, and I picked Truth. As we watched the typing indicator appear, Connor and I joked about what he might ask. We expected something awkward or sexual, and at that point we were still treating the whole thing like a joke. Then his response finally appeared. Instead of asking a normal truth question, he casually asked how I was finding life at university. Neither of us said anything. I looked at Connor, and Connor looked at me. Then we both stared back at my phone. How did he know that? I never told him. I never mentioned attending university or living on campus. I had never met this guy before. That was the moment the entire conversation stopped feeling harmless. I originally came from a very small country town several hours away. If I had known this guy before university, I would have remembered him. But I didn't. I had never seen him before in my life. Connor and I spent the next hour trying to figure out how he knew that information. The problem was that there wasn't an explanation. I had never posted about university. I had never posted about living on campus. There was nothing in my bio mentioning it, and I barely posted at all. In fact, my most recent upload at the time was just photos of my hometown before I moved away. The campus also wasn't particularly large. I regularly saw the same students every day, so if he had attended the university, I felt like I would have recognized him. At that point, I blocked the account. Connor and I spent the rest of the night trying to come up with explanations. For the next few months, it stayed in the back of my mind. Every now and then, one of us would bring it up, and we would start trying to solve the mystery all over again. Eventually, life moved on, and over time, I completely forgot about it. Until 2 years later. By then, I was 21 years old. I had moved out of the university accommodation and was living in a house with Connor and 2 other friends. One night, I was sitting in my room when my phone buzzed. It was another Instagram notification telling me someone had added me. The username didn't look familiar. A second later, another notification appeared telling me I had received a message request.
That's why you gotta be careful with social media, because you maybe posted something that you didn't remember. Bro ain't just find you just to find you. He ain't God, bro. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Bro ain't just find you just to find you. Probably posted something. It's impossible. You know what I mean? For a mother to know where I'm at. Unless such and such tell him. You know what I mean? Only a few. Nobody know what a freak I. Like I said, only a few people on my one hand know where I live. Only a few people. So I know if a mother ever know where I live. Oh, mother effer's tell him somebody talking. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even tell people where I be at, bro. Like I said, I be solo dolo. You know what I'm saying? Nobody know where I'm at. Especially since I ain't got Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. I ain't got none of that junk. You gotta understand, bro. You probably posted something, you know what I'm saying, that you didn't know. You know what I mean? Probably, you know what I'm saying? Just saying, bro. You feel me? Like, even in the busy, bro. Tired. You probably posted something that you don't remember because it's impossible. You not finna, like for any of y'all watching me, bro, you ain't finna find me, gang. I don't give a dang what you do. You ain't finna find me. You know what I mean? Like I seen people talking about, you know what I'm saying, bro, you showed your driver license on the video you did. Think I'm dumb enough to show my car, gang? You know what I'm saying? I ain't even bring my car to the area. You feel me? Think I'm stupid enough to do that? Pull up to the address, that ain't me. But if I record and I bring my car, I ain't even recording close to my car. You ain't never gonna see my car. You know how weird you mother effers is? Mother effers said, bro, you ain't paying attention to that driver license. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. I know it's weirdos watching me, bro. Come on, bro. I know it's weirdos watching me through this dang screen. You don't know where I'm at right now. You ain't never gonna know where I'm at. You ain't never gonna find me, cuz this is close you gonna get to me right here. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna find me. You feel me? Like I try to tell you, bro, I move like a ghost, cuz. You know what I mean? When I'm outside, you ain't gonna know. Trust me. Do you know what the freak I be doing? Do you see me on Instagram? Do you see me on TikTok? Do you see me on Facebook? Do you see me anywhere around? Motherfucker, the only place you see me is YouTube and Twitch. That's just exactly what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Probably know my name. You could know my name. You could know my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. You ain't gonna know nothing else. Even when I get kids, you ain't gonna know how my kids look. You ain't gonna know how my wife look. A lot of y'all ain't never. I had a girlfriend and you ain't never seen my girlfriend. I looked up on Google, bro. I had people searching up Jay Willie Silly's girlfriend. You're not gonna find her, bro. I ain't post her. Nah, you gotta understand, man. You don't know who the freak watching you, bro. This right here, this internet, bro. I don't know who the freak watching me.
Thinking it was somebody who probably...
Think I'm finna make it easy for you? Nah, motherfucker, you ain't never gonna find me. You find me, but you better do some deep dicking.
Followed my TikTok content. I opened it.
I'm a ghost.
Once again, it was just...
You see her? Instagram, and you see him, hers, she, man. You know what I mean? You see him? She sure. See Shim? You know what I mean? Shim got TikTok and Instagram and everything. Shim all around the board.
My TikTok content.
Ain't Shim?
Once again, it was just of my own. The second I pressed send, a photo appeared in my chat. I opened it, and my stomach instantly dropped. It was him. The same pale skin, messy hair, blue eyes. There was absolutely no mistaking who it was. I quietly muttered in disbelief before muting the conversation and putting my phone down. I decided to wait until Connor got home so I could remind him about the strange guy from university. I completely forgot about the unsettling message that made me block him in the first place. If I had remembered it, I would have blocked him immediately. Unfortunately, an unrelated emergency came up later that night that completely distracted me. Since I had muted the conversation and barely looked at my phone afterward, the interaction slipped my mind entirely. It wasn't until a few days later that I opened Instagram again. As soon as I did, I saw his account sitting near the top of my messages. I opened the conversation, and my stomach sank when I saw there were countless messages. Dozens of them, maybe more. He had been messaging me non-stop for days. Some of the messages were sexual, others were angry, demanding to know why I wasn't responding. A few attempted to restart a normal conversation as though nothing happened. His mood constantly shifted between hostility and friendliness, making the entire conversation feel completely unhinged. Mixed in with the messages were explicit photos of himself. I took screenshots and sent them to Connor, who was at work at the time. At first, he didn't remember who I was talking about, but after I reminded him about the strange truth or dare conversation from university, it all came back to him. His advice was simple. He told me to block the guy immediately. As I was about to do that, one thought crossed my mind. How had he found me again after 2 years? None of my friends or family followed him, so there was no obvious connection between us. I wondered if he just remembered me all that time and deliberately searched for me, or was it somehow an unbelievable coincidence? I tried not to dwell on it. I blocked the account and changed my Instagram profile to private, figuring that if he ever found me again, at least he wouldn't be able to contact me so easily. Less than a month later, I was going through my TikTok message requests, something I almost never checked. Most of the messages were random, scammers, advertisements, and the occasional viewer from my live streams. One account caught my attention because it had more than 2,000 followers and had sent me a message about a week earlier. The message was just a simple greeting. Assuming it might be somebody I recognized from TikTok, I replied. Almost instantly, the account responded by asking whether I remembered them. I assumed it was someone I had met online and simply forgotten, so I admitted that I didn't recognize them. They gave me their real name and explained that we knew each other from Instagram. The name still meant absolutely nothing to me. I asked whether we had followed each other before. They explained that I had blocked them because they had been harassing me. The realization hit me instantly. There was no way. I asked whether their old Instagram username had been the same one I remembered from years earlier. A few seconds later, they confirmed that it was. I actually swore out loud in disbelief. One of my housemates heard me and came downstairs to ask what was wrong. I explained everything, and just like Connor, they immediately told me to block the account. Before doing so, I sent one final message demanding that they leave me alone and stop contacting me. Then I blocked them. By that point, this guy had somehow managed to find me on 2 completely different platforms years apart.
It's social media, bro.
My TikTok account didn't even use my real name.
Bro, I got weirdos too, bro. You know what I mean? Come into my freaking Twitch chat, bro. Trust me, bro. You know what I mean, bro? Like, got weirdos in this world, bro. You know what I mean? I've dealt with weirdos like that. You know what I'm saying? For real, I dealt with weirdos like that. You know what I mean? On my Twitch chat, you know, I had to ban him. So he was a ban invader. You know what I'm saying? Like, just spamming me over and over and over and over, just saying weird junk, goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just weirdos, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't give them weirdos the time of day, bro. I was just ignoring the freak out of bro. One thing I realized, bro, once you start ignoring the mother effer, bro, he eventually gonna stop, bro. You know what I'm saying? He see you responding and reading it, bro. He gonna keep on, you know. He gonna stop eventually.
It's harder to understand how he had located me. That was the moment I seriously started wondering whether I was dealing with an actual stalker. I told myself that if he ever contacted me again, I would take things much further. A few days later, I met some friends in the city for dinner. Afterward, I caught the train home and started walking back to my house. The station was only a few streets away, so it was normally an easy walk. It was dark, the streets were quiet, and hardly anyone was around. As I walked while texting my friends, I thought I heard footsteps somewhere behind me. I stopped to listen. Everything went silent. I turned around, but the street was completely empty. I convinced myself I had simply mistaken my own footsteps for someone else's and continued walking. A short time later, I heard them again. This time, after I stopped walking, the footsteps continued for another few seconds before they stopped too. They definitely weren't mine. A knot formed in my stomach as I slowly turned around. This time, somebody was standing several meters behind me on the footpath, completely motionless and staring directly at me. A streetlight above illuminated his face. Instantly, I recognized him. It was the same man from the photographs. The same pale skin, the same messy brown hair, the same light blue eyes, and the same heavy build. For a few seconds, neither of us moved. We simply stood there staring at one another. Finally, he broke the silence by calmly greeting me by name, as if we were old friends unexpectedly running into each other. I turned around and ran. I didn't look back. It honestly felt like my life depended on it. Thankfully, my house was located inside a large residential complex. Once you entered the complex, my unit couldn't be seen from the main pathway because you had to turn another corner to reach it. I sprinted inside, rounded the corner, and practically crashed into my front door. It was locked. My hands were shaking as I desperately searched through my bag for my keys, all while staring toward the corner I had just come around. Every second, I expected him to appear. I expected to see his shadow slowly come around the bend. Finally, I found my keys, unlocked the door, and rushed inside before slamming it shut behind me. Connor and another friend were sitting on the couch when I burst through the front door. The second they saw me, they knew something was wrong. Apparently, my face had gone completely white. After I caught my breath, I told them everything that had just happened. Our friends immediately ran back outside, hoping to confront the man, while Connor stayed inside with me. By the time he got out there, though, the man had completely disappeared. There was no sign of him anywhere. We called the police, who searched the surrounding area much more thoroughly than my friend had, but they found nothing. They advised me to keep all doors and windows locked, and to call immediately if anything else happened, and they recommended that I begin the process of obtaining a restraining order against him. That all happened only a couple of weeks ago. I'm now in the process of getting the restraining order since I have screenshots of the harassment. I know his name, and I can accurately describe what he looks like to hopefully help identify him if necessary. Even now, though, I still wonder how he managed to find me after all these years, and across multiple social media platforms. I still wonder why he kept looking for me after I had made it clear I wanted nothing to do with him. Most of all, I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't turned around that night and noticed him standing behind me. Would he have simply continued following me without me ever realizing it, or did he have something far worse planned? I know I'll probably never get the answer to that question. What I do know is that ever since that night, I constantly check over my shoulder whenever I'm walking alone, especially after dark. I pay far more attention to my surroundings than I ever used to, and I can only hope I never see him again. If anything else happens, I'll provide an update. But honestly, I hope there's never another update to give.
You always gotta be, like I said, people are weird and people are strange, bro. That's what you gotta understand about people. People are weird and people are strange. You know what I mean? So never ever, always expect the worst from people. That's just what it comes to me in general. I expect the worst from people. So when people act weird and when people act like weird and stuff like that, I'm not surprised. I expect you to act like that. I expect you to be weird. I expect you to be, you know what I'm saying, evil, and I expect that. Like I never expect like less from people. I always expect the worst. So once you start expecting the worst from people, bro, when they start doing weird stuff, it won't even surprise you. You know what I mean? Like for me, I told you, expect the worst from people, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's better. I'm like, just expect the worst. You know what I mean? That don't mean you gotta be an a-hole, but expect the worst from people. That's all I gotta say. But anyways, this is your boy Jay, man. Take it easy. Before you end up like Beezy, man, your boy Jay out, man.